Hey everybody, it's Mark, Dr. Deadwax, and it's time for the Inbox Challenge 2, Day 7. Today's numbers were picked by Rob Paniques, 1960. Last day of Week 1. Thanksgiving in America. I've never understood why it's 6 weeks late down there, but then a friend of mine who's American explained it to me. He said they figured out that if you moved it so close to Christmas that your relatives wouldn't come and visit you twice, it would work. So they come for Thanksgiving, and you get to have Christmas in peace. Here, we got our relatives for all of them, because we like our relatives. This is Litha. Hi. Say hi. Yeah. We're very thankful she's alive today, because earlier I was taking my medication for the day, and the phone rang, and I turned around to answer the phone, and she jumped on my desk and ate half of one of my blood pressure pills, which is toxic for cats. She just lives to poison herself. I think she might be Sid Barrett reincarnated. And that takes us to the records. First record is Omar and the Howlers, Hard Times in the Land of Plenty. This is a Columbia red label, nothing interesting in the dead wax. This is a demonstration, not for sale. Focus, focus, focus. Of course not. That's going to bode well for today's video if it doesn't focus. I think this is kind of, let's not call it rare, let's call it uncommon. It's got the same song, both sides, same lengths, same mix, same everything. I don't know. Whoever, is it Omar is the lead singer? Or is it just some guy? He sounds to me a lot like the singer from AC/DC a little. And I remember when that came out, and they were kind of buzzed to be the next big thing. I can't remember, but I know somebody really likes Omar and the Howlers, and when I figure it out, I'm going to send that to him, because I have no interest in that. Next is Mike Wood's It's You, and this is a Canadian artist, kind of country, folk, slightly pop. You know, heaviest on the folk. Look at that focus. Man. This is not going to be good. And what's interesting about this is it's a 4-song EP, but it's on, you can see at the very bottom that WRC World Record Company Corporation, something like that. Company Corporation. Not the Australian one. This is one out of Canada that released a lot of independent bands, which is probably the reason why I bought this record. Other than this falls into the independent, self-released Canadian record that I just kind of buy when they're $1 at shows. And this is a 4-song EP, 45 RPM. It sounds excellent, and the music is, you know, it's good. It's not so much my thing. It's in perfect condition, but I also buy anything that's WRC that I'm interested in. For example, I showed a Rio Statics record the other day that Gary gave me last weekend at the show, Guri Guri. Subscribe to him if you haven't already. That was released on WRC as well. No, they're not released on WRC. They're all kind of released on their own label. But they were made by WRC for all of these little independent labels. So this is technically on Scott Wood Records, but it was made by WRC. And I think that Real Statics was on X. Can't remember right now. And the record was made by WRC. Next is Rick Wakeman, The Myths and Legends of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Canadian first pressing, gatefold. don't know why this is so washed out today. But must be the angle of the light or something. This is on just the A&M gold and white label. This has an M and an R in a circle, which stands for Monarch Records, which means those are the people that cut the plate in California. And interestingly enough, of course, the plates therefore weren't cut in Canada, and they say Canada is written in the dead wax. So this is first press. The plates were cut down there, sent here, and then we would have cut our own plates subsequently, and later pressings would have been made with those. What can I say about this record? This is not my record from when I was a kid, but I had this record when I was a kid. It's in my collection somewhere. I really liked this record when I was a teenager. I love Yes. I liked this and several other Rick Wakeman records. Visiting this now, not so much. I don't know. If I want to... Back then, I loved prog, but you know, now looking back, when you're that age, teenager, high school, the kind of circle of what you're interested in was pretty compact. And so while this might have seemed like a deep cut then, I don't know, this is just okay now. If I want to listen to Wakeman, I'll listen to him with Yes on the better records. And this, not so much. I have a couple other, I have Henry VIII and Criminal Record and a couple others, so it'll be interesting to see if I feel the same way about those. I really liked Criminal Record, I remember a lot. So, and this is good. It's like a concept record, but I don't know, tastes change, they evolve. I think I evolved out of that one. There's just so much interesting music I've found since that I can't really see myself, you know, maybe I'll go back to that in 5 years and see if I feel the same way I do about it now. But I haven't listened to that in 20 years. Probably last time I heard it was maybe on CD in the early to mid 90s, so it's kind of funny to go back to something you really enjoyed and find that it's just kind of, you know. Next is a record nobody needs. This is Pink Floyd's A Collection of Great Dance Songs. If you're a Pink Floyd completionist, like most of us are, you might want this, but this is just absolutely worthless. Sorry, not worthwhile. This is a Canadian second pressing technically because it's made with Canadian plates and not TML plates. This has the reworked version of Money. Does anybody ever need to hear Money again? I mean, I love Dark Side of the Moon, but sometimes when I listen to that, I don't even want to listen to Money. This is just... I mean, they put out this and Works, and they're both meh. Pink Floyd compilations, you know, who needs Pink Floyd compilation? The only thing you need with Pink Floyd are the whole records. You don't drop needle on one song. You concept the whole way through. And finally, another Pink Floyd record. I know, Rob pulled 2 Pink Floyd records. He picked 10, 16, 17, 18, and 19, and these are from a collection I bought. So it was kind of funny that they were right next to each other. These were 18 and 19. So Pink Floyd, Ummagumma. Now here's a record that I bought as a teen, and man, I would go listen to it and wonder what the fuck is this, and you know, be careful with that axe, Eugene, and stuff like that. And I would just kind of wonder what the, you know, this is not Dark Side, this is not Animals, Wish You Were Here, and this is not. I mean, you can hear it. This is a split. The first record is a live record, and then the second record is a studio record where each of them were given like half of a side to do what they wanted with. So it doesn't flow that well. But you can kind of hear on a couple of the songs where some of the concepts were starting to form, and the sounds the guys were going for individually that then got all rolled in together. But I never really liked it. And every time I would go back to it, I would just be disappointed. And this works a lot better for me now. I don't know. It's the kind of avant experimental aspects of the record actually appeal to me now, whereas before those were the major detractors of the record. So it's, you know, here's two records from my teens that my emotional attachment to is flipped, because I would have gladly have given this away and kept this, but now I would gladly give this away and keep this. And this is from somebody else's collection. This is not the one I bought as a teen. And so I've talked about this record before. This has the Gigli album cover that isn't on the Canadian, or I don't think it's on the North American release. The photo just keeps repeating into itself with each one of them in a different position. This is a shot of the, I think it's the roadies with all of the gear laid out in front of the band, the same way that they do exploded payload shots of military aircraft, and they lay all the bombs out, and then they do a shot from like a crane. So that's where this kind of photo came from. Storm Thurkson, Hypnosis did the cover. So what's interesting about this, besides the music is much more interesting, is that this is a Canadian first pressing. So let's talk about how you can tell that this is a Canadian first pressing. First, this little doohickey here, this capital kind of file under remnant logo is still there. Next is this capital up here. It's still there. Next is it's manufactured and distributed by Capital. There's no mention of EMI on there. Next is the Dead Wax, which is unique to this record. It has W1s and W5s and stuff. And then finally, and like, please let's let this focus, is the Harvest label. So yeah, this isn't going to work, is it? Anyways, at the very bottom of the record, it says, Harvest is a trademark of Capitol Records, Inc., manufactured in Canada by Capitol Records, Canada. And that writing around the bottom, there you can see it finally. You see how it starts beside the Harvest at 9 o'clock and above the line that is underneath the word Harvest as it comes out to join the circle around the outside. So that's how you tell that that's a first Canadian pressing. All of those things in combination. And finally, there's here on the spine, there's Pink Floyd Ummagumma, and then where it says Litho in Canada, not Litho. Here there's a little, I think it's a flower, it almost looks like. Okay, and it doesn't say contains 2 records here. It actually had a hype sticker that said that. So here's my copy from when I was a kid. This is the second Canadian pressing. As you can see, it now says Special Buy, contains 2 complete LPs. As you can see now, it has EMI Harvest in the bottom right hand corner over here. On the back, the Capitol stuff is laid out differently. This is the earlier one. The front one is the later one. The bottoms are different. This is the first pressing here. This is the second pressing here. This is the spines. And this now has like an ER where it says litho in Canada as opposed to the other logo. And the actual vinyl has slightly different dead wax. It also has the mastered by capital stamp. But what's interesting of note is the writing around the bottom of the record. Again, the harvest is now in quotes, and as you can see, it starts below that line. So it's not quite 9 o'clock, it's a little bit before 9 o'clock. So it says basically the same thing. Harvest is a trademark of EMI Records, whereas Harvest is a trademark of Capitol on the other. So I know it's all kind of boring, but anyway, that's the kind of stuff you can get mired in trying to tell pressings apart. And we can get a chance to spin the first and the second to see which one sounded better. But I would assume that the first would, just because that's generally the norm. However, the second could be better, you never know. So that is day 7 of the Inbox Challenge, and the records were brought to us by Rob. And we had the fantastic Ummagumma. I never thought I'd say that about that record. Ever. The completely unnecessary collection of great dance tunes. I never thought I'd say that's just okay. I used to think that was amazing. This is good. Independent release, whatever. You don't need that. And I don't need this. Somebody's going to get that. So, Rob, thanks for picking today's numbers. Bottom line, Rob, stop commenting on my videos and make more videos, because we all want to see you on camera. We love that you comment on everybody's videos, but I love when you make a video and we get to see it. That means more to me than anything else. Just when people make videos, that's what I want. I want people in the VC to make videos. And I want you to make more videos, Rob, because you're awesome and we love you. So that's it. Have a great day, everybody. Keep the record spinning.